let's close our eyes for a moment. Check your contact points with the surface of the mat. Be aware of the spine as it holds a straight line. Relax the shoulders down till your fingertips. Allow the breath to travel from the nostril all the way down to the bottom of your spine as you breathe in. And as you breathe out from the bottom of the spine, going all the way up to the top and exhaling out through the nostrils. Do this for a couple of more times at your own pace. Breathe in from the nostril down to the bottom of the spine. Breathe out from the bottom of the spine all the way out through your nostrils. Take one last round on this. And gently open your eyes when you're ready. So let us begin the practice with the Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati can set the good foundation for doing the bandhas which follows after this practice. We'll be doing one set of Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is both a form of pranayama and cleansing techniques. So Shat Kriyas or Shat Karmas, 6 different cleansing techniques. Kapalabhati is also one of them. And the practice is the focus stays at the bottom of the navel. Just this is your pubic bone, right above the pubic bone. And as we exhale, we contract the belly in, letting the exhalation to be out from the nostril. And as we relax the belly, let the breath come back in naturally. It's also called Kapalabhati because it cleanses the mucous membrane on the frontal hemisphere of the brain, the frontal vortexes. And also Kapala basically means skull, and Bhati means to polish or to shine. That is why it's called Kapalabhati. And that is why it is also added in the category of cleansing technique, since it cleanses the mucus. At the same time, it elevates the pranic flow, and that's why it is also part of the pranayama practices. So we'll be doing 100 strokes for one set only. Slow down the pace, take a break in case that's necessary during the period of the practice. If you're in menstruation, this is not a recommended practice, so instead go ahead for Nadi Shodhana or probably any other practices of your choice. It might be Ujjayi or so on. So check what works for you. It's your own personal journey for the next couple of minutes. So closing eyes, sitting straight, take an inhale, exhale out fully. Half inhale and start the practice. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Practice 5 Ujjayi breath. So shift the breath awareness on your chest. Press the back of the glottis gently to create an ocean sound, both on the inhale and the exhale. 5 Ujjayi. When you're ready, gently open up the eyes. Okay, let's move on to the next practice, and this is a combination of 3 different locks of the body. So when we talk about lock, what we want to or intend to lock is the energy, to reserve the energy flowing out of the body constantly. So our energy or the prana dissipates out from the body constantly, and we want to reserve that with these practice of the lock. So there are 3 locks, and this practice would be a combination of all these 3 locks. The first lock is called Jalandhara Bandha, or also called the throat lock. Jala means net, and it connects or controls the flow of prana or flow of the energy around the throat area. So the practice of Jalandhara Bandha is very simple. We bring the chin down in between this notch of the collarbone, and that is the Jalandhara Bandha. The second bandha is called the Uddiyana Bandha. Now, Uddiyana Bandha, Uddiyana word means to lift or to fly up, and this practice comes only on the exhale because we draw the navel inwards, creating a suction force with the entire belly drawn inwards towards the spine, and after we bring it in, we try lifting it upwards towards the cavity of the ribs. So that lifting up action is what gives its name. So that is very important that you're focusing on Uddiyana Bandha, not just drawing in your navel, but also to lift up the cavity. So the demonstration would be, I'll show it in a standing position, and this practice could be done both in standing and sitting, so you can choose your preference. I'll come a little bit closer so it's more clear to you. So an Uddiyana Bandha would be, as I breathe out, I create that inward force to pull my belly in towards the spine, and I inhale, and as I exhale, I draw inwards. And on the inhale, I relax it. So the practice again is to pull in and to lift it up. Pull in and to lift it up. This happens only on Bahya Kumbhaka, or the external retention of the breath. So we cannot breathe in and let the diaphragm descend down and draw the abdominals inwards, right? So always on the exhale. So one more time, a demonstration would be, I inhale, and as I exhale, I draw inwards. Okay, so that is Uddiyana Bandha. Now, the last one would be called a Mula Bandha, and it is difficult to understand the Mula Bandha if you are very new to these practices, because it is a point between the contraction of your perineum for a male, cervix for a female, and the anal contraction. So imagine that you want to urinate and you want to block, and that is a contraction around the perineum area. And if you want to go into the toilet for cleaning out the bowls and you want to hold it for the next couple of minutes, so that's the anal contraction. In between these 2 points is the location of the Mula Bandha. So we draw it upwards. We try to contract this muscle group upward. At the very beginning, as you practice, it is perfectly fine to just get that entire pelvic floor lifting up together if you're not able to isolate the perineal area or the cervix area with that of the anal area and find that exact point. It takes time, and it takes lots of consistency on the practice. So feel free just to contract up the entire pelvic floor together. So this practice goes as: we breathe out, we bring the chin down for our throat lock, we contract in the abdomen for the abdominal lock or Uddiyana, and we contract or we lift up the base, the perineal area, for our Mula Bandha. Okay, so I'll demonstrate you one round, and then we'll be doing 10 rounds at our own pace. Again, if you're in menstruation, this is not a recommended practice because of the retention of the breath. Go back to your Nadi Shodhana, and you can always flip back the videos and practice later on. So just a quick demonstration to show. As I breathe in, and on my exhale, the first lock I do is the abdominal lock. It is easier to control it that way. So I exhale and I pull my navel in. I bring my chin down and I pull up the base lock together. And I hold it for 5. I first relax my abdomen, and then I take an inhale to bring the chin back to the center and release the base lock. So as I breathe out, I first contract the abdominal, bring the chin down and base lock together, followed by that. Hold it for 5. If you're a regular practitioner, you might want to hold it for 10, because this next 10 rounds would be at your own pace. As I'm relaxing, I first release my belly's contraction, then I inhale to release my throat and my base. Okay? Let's get started. Take an inhale, exhale, and go. Continue doing this for another 9 more rounds. You can choose to do the practice in standing or in sitting. Many of us might feel in standing position the control of contraction might be better, so choose it and keep going. Let's take 3 minutes to do this whole thing. No rush. If you're doing 8, that's fine. If you're doing 15, that's fine. It would depend on the length of your retention. So let's go 3 minutes. One more minute to go for the practice. Might want to take a couple of deep breaths, oxygenate again, and then restart for the last few rounds. Make this as your last practice, please. Take a couple of diaphragmatic breaths, which means expand the lower belly outwards on the inhale, which descends the dome-shaped muscle group below the ribs downward, which is called the diaphragm, and hence the name. And as you breathe out, relax the belly naturally. Taking 10 breaths on diaphragmatic form. A diaphragmatic breath helps to use the entire lobe of the lungs capacity. And for the bandhas, the throat lock controls the energy flow at the top of the body towards the cranial muscle groups, controls the thyroid. The abdominal lock is a good massage to all the organs, kidney, liver, spleen, gallbladder, and it helps to keep a toned belly. And the Mula Bandha, the base lock, helps to keep a healthy sexual energy and keeps all the genitals healthy. Helps during menstrual pain. And all these three practices together enhances the energy level of the body, the prana. The intention of doing pranayamas, mudras and bandhas are the same. It's to lock or trap the prana which dissipates out of the body constantly, and utilize this prana towards spiritual growth. Take a deep breath in, relax in the exhale, and gently open up your eyes. Alright, so the last practice for today's session would be Brahmari. Brahmari means a large bee, the black bee. If you have heard of black bee, the sound is like The sound helps to create vibration onto the nervous system, especially around the brain. Hence, this is a great practice if you have got insomnia or lack of concentration. The practice goes as there are different methods of closing the flap of the ears. So you can insert the fingers in between the ears, or you can close the flap of the ear itself. It can be index finger, or you can use the four fingers to rest on the head and the thumb to close the ear. So whichever method you're choosing, check that your ears are completely plugged in, and that's when the vibration multiplies and we listen to it more with clarity. Another important thing is keep the teeth slightly separated. The connection of the teeth absorbs some vibration, so keep the teeth slightly separated. And keeping these in mind, this is the demonstration of the practice. I will take a deep inhale, and as I exhale, I create that humming sound of a bee. And then again I inhale, and that continues. During the process of the practice, you cannot hear me. So we'll be finishing 10 rounds of this, and once your 10 rounds are finished, you can bring your hand down. Okay, so one round of demonstration. My ears are always closed. And then I would inhale again. And this process would carry on for 10 rounds. After 10 rounds, relax the hand. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Bring the hand up and let's start. Feel that vibration. Feel the inner sound. The sound which creates ripples into the cells of the body, on the brain. Take 3 Ujjayi breath now. Let us close today's session with one chant on Om. palms in any position you're comfortable with. Inhale. Rub the palms. Look up the warmth on your closed eyes. Offer a gentle massage in the eyes. And gently relax the hand as the eyes opens. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Stay healthy and happy. Namaste.